should be a energetic
great Muslim leader
state. It was the
Lastly, Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. Allah created man on this earth to be a Khalifa. Allah said, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَائِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Our job on this earth as a leader to ourselves, family, community and so on. Besides Prophet Muhammad SAW, we can make Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi as our idol or inspiration of leadership.
Sultan Muhammad Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi is known by his real name Abdul Muzaffar Yusuf bin Najmuddin Ayyub bin Shazi, who is called Sultan Al-Malik An-Nasir, which is the king of the conqueror. He was the great Muslim leader, was born of the Kurdish family in the city of Tikrit near the Tigris River in Iraq. He also the founder of Al-Ayyubiyah and called Sultan Salahuddin. He also one of the most valiant Islamic warriors in the Crusaders, and he was successfully recaptured Jerusalem Maqdis from the hand of the Christian Crusaders. When he was 17 years old, he began working with Nuruddin in Damascus. He became a military leader, country administrator, and he was very popular post-war compiler. Next, Sultan Muhammad Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi is regarded as a great Muslim leader and commander. The special characteristic that he had is kindness, forgiveness, patience, justice, and others. Lastly, Sultan Muhammad Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi was dead on 27 Safar on Wednesday.
The successful of Sultan Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. There were 3 crusades in the era Sultan Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. During the first crusade, Muslim army did not success against Christian army because the Islamic leader of government are busy with their personal issues and disunity internal, such as the power struggle between them and the interest of the authorities in strengthening their respective state. It was the factor that made Christian army win and succeed at the first crusade. In the second crusade, Muslim army has a better plan and more organized. They have high moral character, intelligent and strong in their religious holding. Sultan Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi is a leader who has steadfast standing in Egypt for 8 years. Historians agreed that after the death of Asaduddin Shirkuh, all the affairs of the country were handled by Sultan Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. What made the Muslim proud with him is he was a man who always supported the jihad and struggle fi-sabilillah to liberate the Holy Land by the Maqdis. He has a wonderful opportunity to teach the Christian army a lesson that they will never forget due to the violence and crimes that they commit against Jerusalem, Maqdis and its inhabitants. After that, the War of the Hittin was led to the Third Crusade. The Christian army want to reach their aim, that they want to recognize the Islamic Jerusalem. After Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi know about it, he continued to strengthen the defense of the Islamic Jerusalem, and he was able to maintain the victory of the Third Crusade.
Okay, next, I will explain to you the leadership of Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. Every leader must have their own leadership qualities. It is important to gain trust from everyone. Therefore, it is important to a leader to maintain their moral character and demonstrate their leadership qualities. In Hisham At-Talib's book, he had mentioned about factors extracted from executive experience and explain the qualities of leaders expected to be. Firstly, a leader should be an energetic person, as well as Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. He is a very energetic person. He always have the spirit of jihad. He constantly spent his energy in searching his army and searching for the weapons for the purpose of jihad. He also go to all the corner of the country to ask people to rise up to defend Islam. Secondly, in Hisham At-Talik's book mentioned, a leader must be a resourceful person. Salahuddin has a good knowledge about Islam. He knows what has been prohibited in Islam. Islam is a holy religion. He is very protective of the good name of Islam, and whoever insults Islam, he will give punishment to that person. He thinks war, he drew his sword and cut off Reginald's head due to Reginald's superiority towards Islam and the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Palestinian pilgrims were attacked without mercy by Reginald and his sword to break two holy cities. Thirdly, in Hisham At-Talib's book, he mentioned that a leader must be human. Salahuddin is the one who are human. His love and compassion during the war was very different from the cruelty his Christian enemies. Even Christian historians acknowledge this. Salahuddin showed his moral superiority when Christian enemies surrounded. His army is very responsible, keeping the rules at every way, preventing any kind of violence to the extent that no Christian enemies treated badly. Lastly, in Hisham At-Talib's book, he also mentioned that a leader must be an enthusiastic person. Salahuddin is the one who are an enthusiastic person. During the siege of Ars, Salahuddin had severe pain which made him difficult to get up. At the other times, he was actually in the state of weakness but was out hunting all the night. He could not sleep because of the pain, but in the morning he would ride on horseback to fight the enemy. He would send his comrades to the battlefield before ordering others to do so. He only will return to the tent after giving instruction for nighttime security. In all seriousness, passion and endurance, it seems that no one can match Salahuddin.
Firstly, victory is changing the heart of your opponent by gentleness and kindness. Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi taught us to speak kindly and gently to others like Muslim, non-Muslim, even enemies. Rude talk can lead to fight and quarrels. Allah said, repel evil in better way. So, the leader and soldier facing the enemy resolve in a good way as long as they do not fight us. Good speech will result in peace without bloodshed. Next, Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi said, if you want to destroy any nation without war, make adultery and nudity common in the young generation. If we as a leader, we need to train young generation to be better and train them about leadership qualities and keep them away from adultery and nudity as a heavy in themselves. At least they know to lead themselves. This is because they are backbone of further national and religious leader, and they're also one who will defend the community, nation, religious, and country from threatened enemy. Lastly, Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi said, how can I smile and how can food and water to taste good to me when Masjid Al-Aqsa in hand of the Crusaders? How leader and someone can live in peace when our country under enemy's leadership? Similarly, Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi was restless during the Baitul Maqdis was leaked by Crusaders. So, it is important for us to arrange the strategy and plan according to what Islam teaches in leading the situation. Defend what should be the property of Islam and do not give up easily.